Oh, that was an ugly first shot, right? Let's fix my hair. Y'all have to excuse how I look because I just came off of being sick for the whole week. it was it was a long week. Hello, good evening, paranormal spirit trackers. It was a very long week for me. I was sick as a dog. My son apparently must have gave me his cooties. I was feeling fine. He got sick, let me say, the day before Thanksgiving, and I got sick Sunday night, I want to say. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Friday is when I started feeling better. And I went to urgent care because I was like, I need to know if I got COVID or the flu, like what is going on? Because I was just sick for way too long. So I went to urgent care. Both of my tests for flu and COVID um, came back negative. So they told me based off of my symptoms, though, I could have, and it could have already passed. But when I tell you, I was weak. I was too weak to do anything. I could not. Thankfully, I still worked because I have a lot of clients that do online notary closings. So I was busy doing online notary, which I did not have to leave the house or have any physical contact with customers because I didn't want to get anybody sick, you know? So I feel better now. I have my energy. My body isn't achy, feeling like a bus ran me over or nothing. So tomorrow I go back full force working online and in person. So what a week. I mean, I couldn't even stay awake. Yeah, I could not even stay awake. I would get up and I would drink water, use the bathroom, and go to bed. Go back to sleep. I lost weight. My daughter was like, "Mommy, oh my God." Like my stomach is like a flab. Like, and I don't have a big stomach, but it sticks out a little bit. So for it to be deflated like that, not I couldn't eat for 3 days. And it's not because I was nauseous or throwing up or nothing. I just had no appetite. So all I ate was like some crackers here and there, and I drank a bunch of Gatorade. So, whew, mm, I don't wish that feeling on nobody. My daughter's going through it right now, and I feel really bad because she was in the room with me the whole time. I kept telling her, "Baby, you got to get out the room." She was like, "Mommy, I just want to make sure you're okay." And she was such a sweetheart. She took care of her mom. She really did. So, but I'm back, y'all. I'm back. Sorry I missed you guys last Sunday. So, before I get into tonight's topic, I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself. You guys know me as Bergeau or Be Elise Notary. I am the owner of Be Elise Notary Services as well as the Notary Education Group. And every Sunday, I come to you guys live at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 10 a.m. depending on how my day is looking. But basically come talk to you guys, discuss notary and business related topics and tips, and answer any of your questions that you may have in real time. All right. So there's my intro. And if you have stumbled upon my channel and this is your first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button because whenever I go live, you'll be notified so that way you don't miss. Okay? Because I know a lot of people are like, well, I don't be knowing when you're coming on. I come on every Sunday, 8:30 p.m. But if you're not subscribed, you're not going to get a notification because unless you're following my Academy page and my notary support group on Facebook, that's where the reminders go. And so if you're not following that page, you're not going to get a reminder. So you got to subscribe. I'm sorry. All right. So what we're going to be talking about tonight is leveling up your notary business. I don't know. I have an issue with the L's. Even when I say my last name, and I've been married for 15 years, and I still feel like I don't pronounce my last name correctly. It's those L's. When you got to put the L's together, it's like my tongue doesn't, I don't know what it doesn't want to do. But in any event, level up your notary business. End of year strategy so that you can be successful in 2025. All right. So before I pull up my talking points. I just want to tell everybody this is December 2024. It is time for you to get out of the planning phase, okay, and get into the execution phase of your notary business, okay? Because all you're doing is while you're waiting, other notaries who do have the courage are stepping up to the plate and they're taking your spots, okay? Some of you have been a notary since before I was a notary and still have not done anything with it. And all you're doing is you're sitting in the back and you're letting everybody get to the front, okay? You guys got to get out of plan phase and get into execution. Next year is going to be a whirlwind. And those of you who have not put your feet out there and gotten them wet, you're going to get left behind. And I am seeing this happen. Yes, I am seeing this happen right before my eyes. People are reaching out to me like, they want the help. And I'm like, awesome. And then when I hear how long they've been a notary and they haven't done anything with it, I'm like, well, what are you waiting for? The problem that everybody has is they have this unimaginable, because it's non-existent, fear. You have this fear that you don't need to have, okay? You are not going to mess up somebody's documents so bad to the point where you're going to get sued for all of your life's earnings, guys. That's not how that works, okay? So let's just debunk that myth right now, okay? The only way you can mess up is if you saw the document and you didn't sign anything. That's how you mess up. You got the documents right in your hand. Hi, Michael. You got the documents right there, and you decided I can't sign it. That's how you're gonna mess up. Other than that, all you're doing is signing your name, filling out a certificate, and putting your stamp on it. That's it. Okay? And there are some things that are just common sense. You know that you cannot notarize a blank document, right? Somebody brings you documents and they say, hey, I didn't have time to fill them out. Can you just sign it and notarize it? I'll just fill it out when I get a chance. Are you going to notarize a document? I hope not. You know, a person brings a document to you and something needs to be notarized on it, but their name not even on there as a signer. Are you going to notarize that? These are things that people are afraid of, but that's common sense. Don't put your name on things that you know you have no business putting your name on. If I bring you a document and it says that Eric has to sign it and my name is Bergeau, you already know not to sign it. If I bring documents to you and I tell you I'm gonna fill them out later, can you just sign and notarize it because I just need to get this part out the way? I can fill it out later. You know dang on well that don't make sense. No, you're not gonna notarize it. If you are going through a closing with a person and you see that there are spaces for them to sign and fill out, are you not going to tell them to fill it out and sign it? Because this is another myth I'm going to debunk. Everybody thinks that they need to know what those documents are for. You do not. You do not need to know what those documents are for, but you do need to know how to read. Because at the minimum, you should be able to read the title of the document your signer is about to sign. At minimum. Okay? Most signings that I go to, they don't care what the document, they just want to sign and get it over with because most people have been through this so many times before. So many times. They're like, okay, you don't need to be a human dictionary going to a closing. All right. You don't need to know what the warranty deed is. You don't need to know what the non-individual transfer document is. You don't need to know what the Form 1003 is. You don't need to know. Mostly, these terms are used between you and the title company, not you and the customer. Okay. So the title company or the signing service, they talk that terminology. So they expect for you to just know it based off of that. Okay. We know the Form 1003, that's going to be the freaking application, right? Where is the form where we have to fill out? That's the U.S. Patriot Act form. You fill that out. You know, if a signer asks you, signers, what they really want to know when you go to a closing is what's my interest rate, what's my first payment due, and what is my closing cost, or what am I getting back from the closing. They don't care about nothing else. So if you think you going in there, I know the definition of everything. They don't care. They don't care. And what's worse is that the people who draft the documents, they do not want you explaining them. You want to know why? Because if you confuse their signers, they're going to be pissed. They're going to be thinking to themselves, why are you explaining documents that you didn't even put together? Why? I only sent you there to verify the signer is who they are, make sure their name is spelled from their ID the way it's supposed to be spelled on the documents, and tell them where to sign. You just point and tell them where to sign. That's it. That's it, really. Okay. But so that is just my little rant for today because, when I see in these groups people are afraid because they don't know what the documents are, somebody told you wrong. That's not your job. Your job is not to know the definitions of these documents and how they're used and which one is recorded, which one is not recorded, and which one's the lender, which one's the title, who's going this. That's not your job. That's not your job. That is not what they're paying you. They're paying you to get the documents executed properly. Okay? And the only way you can get them executed improperly is by forgetting to have a signer sign a page they were supposed to sign, which happens. It does. I missed the signature, well, not last week because I didn't, but week before that, I missed the signature. Okay? I just got it fixed. Call the signer back, get the signature, mail the documents off. You know, we human. Mistakes happen. The thing you want to do is you just want to make sure you learn from your mistakes. Don't let the same mistakes keep happening over and over and over again because then it means that you're being careless and you don't care. And people are not going to work with people who don't care about their job. Okay? All right, now let me pull up my talking points because of those of you who know me, I can start talking, and I can get way off of topic. And then, yeah. So let me get my talking points out so we can get started on talking about what the topic is for tonight. So I said it before. It's time for us to get out of that plan phase and get into execution. All right. And what you want to do is, and this is going to require you guys to do some brainstorming. All right. And, you know, I know there's a lot of you who you look at this, you listen to, you're like, I'm not doing all that. But this is why you're not successful. This is why. Because you don't want to do anything that seems like it's maybe a little bit of an inconvenience for you. But those of us who are successful, we have been in very uncomfortable spots and we have had inconveniences happen, and they didn't stop us from being successful. If anything, it drove us to want to be more successful. All right. So, what I'm telling you is that you need to learn lessons from your wins and your challenges because that is what is going to help you grow in your notary business. All right. So I could tell you a lot of different challenges that I had this year. I went full time in December of last year. So I am coming up on the 15th is the day that I left, or is it 12th? Hold on, let me look. Mm, I think December 15th was the last day of my job, okay, that I quit and I left. So I'm coming up on 1 year. That was a tough one for me. I was super scared, super scared. My first 2 months was a big challenge for me because here I thought as soon as I went full time, that the floodgates were open, because while I was working my business part time, the floodgates were opening and I was having to try to close them a little bit because I was like, I can't do that much work because I work full time, you know? So as soon as I went full time, I was like, let the gates open up, baby, let them open up. But it felt like, as soon as I opened up the floodgates, it was like crickets just for a little bit. So January, February was really a challenge for me. It made me almost regret quitting my job. Thankfully, I have my husband. So wherever I fell short, he was able to keep me afloat, obviously, because that's what your partner's supposed to do, right? Thank you, paranormal spirit trackers. So, yeah, he kept me afloat wherever I fell short, you know. January, February was a challenge for me, you know, but I learned from those challenges. Okay, I learned what I needed to do. And when March came around, baby, oh baby, March was like, all right, now I'm seeing the swing of things. I was getting in there. I was reaching out to people, letting people know, look, I'm full time now. Anything you have in the area, please mark me as your preferred notary, etc., etc. And they were like, no problem. And so that was the key there. That was the key. Um, and then you need to set your notary business up for success by narrowing down all the stuff y'all doing. You guys have the notary world has been the biggest in my world anyway industry for me to see people acquiring skills that they're never going to use. You guys, you see all of these different courses that people have rolled out, and you're taking all of the courses and you're like, I'm building up my skills, but you're building up your skills to do what? In 2025, I want you guys to do less of investing in skills that you know you're not going to use and do more investing in skills that you know can jump your business up in the rankings. Okay? Because, and I'm not going to say out loud what these different courses were. Okay? Because you had courses that just makes no sense. All right? None. Okay? You guys are getting these courses and getting the certificates, and you're plastering them all over the internet, all over your social media, and the public has no idea what the hell that stuff is. Okay? So this is what I mean. Stop investing in things that are not going to increase business for you. All right? It just makes it look good to everybody else in the notary community. But we really want to be noticed by the public because the public is the one who's going to be using this, right? Even the signer services, they don't care about that stuff. Those additional little skill sets that you guys are getting from these courses, they don't care about that. That's not their niche. Okay, so I need for you guys to really think and narrow it down. Okay, narrow down what it is your business is going to be about. All right, because we know there are different things that you can do as a notary. True, but people are doing so many different things to they're not doing notary anymore. It's like they became a notary to be a field inspector. The field inspection is supposed to be a complement to the notary. It's not supposed to be your 80% and then notary is your 10%. Like I'm confused. That confuses me so much. Um, yeah, so you guys need to narrow down your niches, all right, and do what's going to bring you money. Stop throwing money out there and not getting money back. It absolutely makes no sense. All of the money that I've seen people waste to get skill sets that they're never going to use. Never going to use them. Okay? So, yeah. And so let's go on to my next topic, self assessment. Okay? So many of you have done so much in trying to learn and learn, and you're stuck in learn mode. And now the question is, are you even ready for the next level? If all you're doing is you're just buying all these courses and things like that, none of which are going to help you level up in this business, then are you really ready for the next level? And that's an honest question. That is a very honest question. You know, I too have created courses, but the courses that I created for you guys are courses to actually help you in your business. I have a course, Essentials of You Starting a Business. Um, I made a course for you guys to learn about doing apostles, learn how to do, weddings and putting together and what the intricate parts can be for free, for free, you know, and marketing. Yes, absolutely. You're not the only one. You're not the only one. Everybody's stuck in learn mode because everybody's so fearful. This is why I detest some of the Facebook groups because those Facebook groups, it's okay for you to share, but I feel like when one person gets disgruntled about something in the notary industry, they start spreading the hate and it multiplies like a plague. And now everybody is on the same page. And it's like, how did I get sucked into this? You know? Because I tell you guys this every time I go live. None of us successful notaries are in these groups complaining. None of us. All right. And this is where you have to draw the line. All right. Who am I following? Who am I listening to? Oh, that notary is successful. I want to be successful. Then that's who you need to follow. You need to follow the notary who's doing what you want to do, not the notaries who are trying to um, keep you from doing what you want to do. The ones who are making it look bad, making it sound bad, making it sound like it's not attainable. All lies. All lies. I'm glad you found me too. But they're all lies. You can absolutely be successful in this business, but you have to listen and you have to follow. There are a handful of us that I know, and there's more, but just people I know and follow who are successful in this business. I'm successful because I follow what they said. I didn't just sit back and listen to everybody. No, I don't want to listen to everybody. I want to follow the people who are being successful in this business because I need to know what they're doing so I can do it too. And that's what I did. I went full time in December. This is December now. I have already exceeded what I earned on my job my first year going full time because I followed what all of the high rollers said. I followed everything they said. Nothing was out of my reach. And whatever I felt like it was going to be hard to do, it just was a challenge, like challenge accepted. Because I need to see if I can make this work. You know what I'm saying? So I need y'all to do a self assessment and I need y'all to start weeding out the naysayers, weeding them out. Because you do want to do this. It's an easy job, and you make really good money doing it. And excuse me, depending on the area you're in, you may do even better than me. And I feel like I'm doing very well. All right. So self-assess and ask yourself that very serious question: are you ready for the next level? Okay. Unfortunately, some of you aren't because you have been stuck for years. You've had your commission, you've even done the LSS and the Notary to Pro and Notary to Notary courses, and you still have done nothing with it. But yet and still, you're at every TNT, you're at every Notary Stars meetup on Monday, and you're still struggling. That makes no sense. There's no reason why you finished LSS, Notary to Pro, Notary to Notary, you attend every TNT, and you attend Notary Stars on Monday, and you still can't get it? You need to ask yourself that question. Are you ready for the next level? Because you may not be. You have some people who are just really good at planning and not so good at executing. And sometimes you have to ask yourself that question. And it doesn't mean that you won't ever be able to get to that level of execution. It just means that you got to push yourself past what you've been used to. You got to put yourself out that comfort zone. You're comfortable being the planner. Planning is cool. It really is. But what's even more fun is seeing your plan come to fruition. Okay? Bringing it to action. I tell you, that feels amazing. All right? Now, I'm going to get off the inspiration boat just for a little bit, and I need to talk to those of you who are working your notary business. End of your taxes, okay? You got to make sure all your reports are in order. Now, I've told you guys that I use an accounting software called Zoho Books. And in Zoho Books, it generates me different reports so that I know what the health of my business is quarterly, monthly, annually. Okay. So I was just doing the end of year, routine. I'm looking at where I've come thus far. This is December, so that means that this is it. This is it. Whatever you haven't done up until this point, that's it. Okay. We have one, two, roughly 2 more weeks, right? No, we got 3 weeks. We got 3 weeks left. Okay. I mean, we got 3 weeks and a quarter because we got the 30 and 31st that falls on like week 5 right there. But we basically got 3 weeks, y'all. I mean, week 4, right? 4. Yeah, we got 3 weeks left in the year, and you got to get your reports in order. Do not do like I did. Okay, when I first was in business, I would wait till the end of the year and I would print out all my bank statements for the year, and I would have to go through each bank statement and highlight what was business and what was not. And I had a manual piece of paper where I had the different categories for my expenses and then my income, and then I would write it out, and then I would have to do the math. It was terrible. It was a terrible and very poor process that I don't wish on nobody. Do not do that to yourself. You will give yourself a headache. And not only that, you may miss out on the maximum of things that you can write off simply because you didn't do any of this during the year like you're supposed to. All right. So, one of my goals going full time was to decrease my expenses. Okay. Now, your expenses to income ratio should be no more than 30%. I am very happy to say, even though it's still high, but I am at 28% for my expenses. And next year, I plan to get even lower than that. Okay, because it's important because the less money I spend on expenses, the more money I can pay myself, right? So, also looking at my business profit ratio for the year, I am all greens. So, um, all of that is important to know because you need to know how your business is going because however your business is going now is going to roll over into next year. So you can't be successful next year if your business took a flop this year. Okay. Well, I'll take that back. You can be successful, but it's going to be hard coming from a flop trying to get it going. You know what I mean? Zoho. I use Zoho 1. I'm going to type it in here. And it is a complete work suite. It's a complete work suite, and it includes a whole bunch of different apps, and that's all I use to run my business. And actually, I can share with you a link so that I can get a little something for you using a link to sign up. So let me know if you are going to so that I can give you that link. Okay, yes, it's Zoho 1. All right, and what else do we want to do at the end of the year? We want to talk about our budget for next year. All right. Your budget should probably be done. Whatever your budget was projected to be for this year is pretty much done. We're in December. Now you're going to have a new projection. Okay. And I exceeded my projection for this year on my earnings. For my marketing, I did as well. I did exceed that, but I made a poor choice and I paid for it. And I will not be making that same mistake next year. So these are different things that I need for you guys to make sure that you are doing some type of end of year business plan. Oh, yes, Michael, I will. Yes, I'll pull it up for you. You need to be doing some type of end of year planning, budgeting, looking over everything that you did doing your business so you can see if there's anything you need to make changes to in the upcoming year. You know, for me, there's going to be some price changes. There are going to be some hour changes. I'm not going to be doing the shifts that I did before with the online platform I was doing, just because I don't have the time really. And it's not to say I won't be helping them. I'll still be helping them, but I just won't be on a schedule basis. It'll be on an as needed basis. So those are going to be some of my changes. I'm also thinking about adding a service next year. So trying to put together a budget to see if I can afford the supplies for it. And then I'm going to be doing that. Now, when you do decide that you're going to make changes in the upcoming year with your services and your pricing structure, you need to prepare your customers for that. Just how Dollar Tree kind of gave us a hint that they were going to be increasing their prices to $1.25, and then boom, they did it. Well, they had let us know that well enough advance time. It's just that we didn't believe it was going to happen, and then it did happen. So it's the same concept with your business. You want to make sure you let the public know that there are going to be some upcoming changes in the year, so that you can better serve them in the community and blah blah blah. Make it sound real sweet and let them know that there's going to be changes coming ahead, so that when they give you a call, it's not, oh, well, last year, I paid this for that service, and now you're telling me, yes, at the end of last year, I let all of my customers know. I sent out an email blast and I posted it all on my social media, letting everybody know that there would be some fee increases for some of the services I offer. Okay, so you want to make sure that you already covered that ground. And yes, you are going to get some people who didn't see it, who didn't get the memo, but it's out there and everybody needs to know so they're not surprised when they give you a phone call. All right. It's just a common courtesy that professionals do. It shouldn't be a surprise to your customers that you made changes. You need to let everybody know here's the upcoming and let everybody prepare for it. Okay. Let me find that code because before when I was sharing with you guys, they didn't have no code. And one day I was on here, just doing my random stuff, looking up business stuff and everything like that. And I saw they have a referral code. I'm like, what? I'm like, well, I could have been getting like some referral money. Whether it's a discount off of an app, a new service, or maybe a little money off my bill for the month. Every little bit helps. So yes, I'm absolutely gonna start sharing as soon as I find out where it's at. Hold on. Maybe it's here. Mm, Because I saw it before and I was like, well, how's about that? I could have been referring people through me. They honestly didn't have this before though. And I don't know where it's at. Oh, you know what? I wonder if it's under Zoho. One dashboard. Maybe under my Zoho one dashboard. Um, access your apps. Let's see. Hmm. And they have everything, guys. When you go to look into it, you're gonna be like, wow, I see why she don't use anything. I literally do not have to use anything else. It's an all-in-one. My calendar, my scheduling, my bookkeeping, my website, my forms, my marketing, everything goes through Zoho. Everything. I don't see it. I don't see it. Okay. Just don't let me forget. before I end because I'll forget. All right, so end of year taxes, keeping your records, making sure that you have a tax professional. Make sure you guys work with a tax professional who specializes in working with small businesses and notaries as well, because you want to get your maximum write-offs and deductions. You really do, because there's a lot that notaries can take advantage of that we just really don't know about. Especially if that's not your area of expertise, which isn't mine. I just tell you guys what I hear. So I heard that our notary stamps are not taxable. So this is why I keep a report of all the notary stamps that I do. Okay. And not only did I hear that, but I read that on IRS worksheets that they have online. So I need to make sure I'm supposed to be hooking up with this guy. He reached out to me. He does small business taxes and bookkeeping. I don't need him for the bookkeeping, but I do want to use him for the taxes. So I'm hoping that I will have a good experience with him. And then, like I was saying before, your marketing and your business strategy. We can't repeat everything that we did this year. There are some things that we did this year in our marketing and our business strategies that just didn't really work, or just didn't give us a great ROI, which is return on our investment. Okay, time invested, money investment, it just wasn't a good return on that. So that means that you got to change it up a little bit. So you need to evaluate what you've been doing in your marketing. And like I said, find that niche. Okay, you can't do everything. You just can't. There's no way that you could do everything and be great at everything. You need to pinpoint what you are good at and leverage that. And that doesn't mean that you can't do everything, but it just means that everything cannot be your focus. There are going to be some things that are going to take greater focus than others. All right. This is going to be where you're going to be getting most of your money, and this is where you're going to be getting a little bit of money. Okay, like apostles and weddings, that's more on a small scale for me because I don't push that much, because I do a lot of closings and I do a lot of online notary. So closings and online notary is my thing. Weddings and apostles here and there. Okay, and I know that based off of the amount of work I've done. I think I've done maybe 2 weddings this year or something like that. So weddings, that's just not my thing. Not to say that I can't do it, but it's just not a big hitter for me. I don't get a lot of calls for it. I can do it, I just don't get a lot of calls for it. Last year I did more weddings last year than I did this year. And it was probably because I I marketed it more, but I just it's not my thing. It's just not my niche. Paranormal Spirit Tracker, she says she would like to do just remote online. And you can do that. You can do that absolutely. But what I'm finding is that people are wanting to skip doing the in person and go straight to online, and that can be a little bit of a struggle for you, because if you can't do an in person notarization, doing an online notarization is going to be a challenge. I'm not going to say that you can't do it. It just means that you're kind of trying to walk before you crawl. And in-person notarization is where you're going to get most of your experience. But to each his own. I've known people, not personally know them, but I've heard people who just went straight online and they don't want to do any in person at all. And I don't even know how they're doing, but they're doing it. So, for me, I needed to do the in person first because I needed to know what different documents look like and how to handle them in, in person, because there are some things that we can do in person that we can't do online. And you're not going to know the difference if you've never done in person. So that's just where my 2 cents lies with that. But you absolutely can just do online. Absolutely. Um, my business, when I first started, was majority in person. I couldn't get nobody online. I was like, I can't get no customers online. And I found the reason being is because I never offered it when they called. Okay, so when a person called and they say, "Hey, I need a notary. Um, can you do it?" Yes, I can, in person or online. You see how I threw that in there? Instead of me just saying, "Yes, I can. What can I do for you?" Like you just miss your gate. Like, oh, say online, say online. Like you're missing it, you're missing it. So you gotta throw it out there. Interject real quick. Yes, I can. You want to do this in person or online? And you know what happens when I say online? They stop and they say, "I didn't know I could do it online." Yes, you can. Well, how does that work? And bam, I got an online customer. And I didn't learn that until last year. I even learned that. It works like a charm. You just have to remember to offer it. All right. It's kind of like when you work for a company and they're always telling you to upsell, you got to upsell it. You got to offer it because there are still a lot of people who don't know they can notarize documents online. And because of that, I went from, even for closings, I will have it where, oh, well, their schedules don't meet. And I'm like, well, if they are open to it, I can notarize their documents online and they can stay exactly where they are. And they're like, you can do that? Yes, I can. Well, let me call title and see if it's okay. And if it's okay, then we got to online sign it. I'm like, all right. Signing service the same. They'll say, oh, well, we're going to reschedule this. And I'm like, okay, well, when you reschedule it, if you guys want to do it online, I'm Ron Notary in Florida. And they're like, really? Oh, what platforms do you use? It just opens up the conversation. So if online is something that you want to get into, it has to be something that you know like the back of your hand, though, because you're not going to convince anyone to want to use you for online if you don't know what you're doing. You don't even have to have done one before. But if you can sell it, baby, they're going to use you. And when they decide to use you, this is your opportunity to prove to them that they have picked the preferred notary for Ron for their clients. Okay, guys? All right. Next up, building relationships for referrals and repeat business. I need for you guys to do this next year. All right. Now, that doesn't mean you can't do it this year, though. So, in December, um, a lot of holiday parties and toy drives for underprivileged children are going on. And this is your opportunity to get out there and network and mix and mingle with people who could use you next year. All right. I did this strategy last year. I went to 3 Christmas parties. I went to a Chamber of Commerce Christmas party, and I went to 2 title company Christmas parties. And who do you think uses me whenever they need notary? Those 2 title companies. In the Chamber of Commerce, I have not gotten any calls from any of the people through there. But it was nice to meet some of my members, when I went. But the 2 title companies, I have one title company family. They are freaking awesome. I love them so much. They just call me and check on me at this point. Like, even if they don't have no work, they like to call and talk to me. And I always try to make sure I answer their call because I freaking love them. Okay. They were so much fun. So much fun. So I challenge you guys to go ahead and do that. Most of the Christmas parties are going to be after dark, which means after you get off of work if you are a working individual. And take out the time, um, dress up, bring some gifts with you. If they are having a toy drive, make sure you bring a toy. Okay. I went to 2 of the title companies that were doing the toy drive. No, it was 3. It was all 3 because the Chamber of Commerce, they were doing the same thing too. So I had to go buy toys, one for a boy, one for a girl, and brought the toys with me. You drop them in a box, and you mix and mingle with people. You eat some appetizers. You get a drink or 2 or 3, and just hang out with them and just talk to them. It's a wonderful experience, you guys. You cannot sit at home and think your business is going to grow. We are in the business of people. We work with people directly. All right. So that means that you have to get out there and get in front of the people. So for 2025, I need you guys to challenge yourself to commit to attending one networking event a month. And I think that's easy to do, right? One networking event a month. Okay. And don't just go to network, go to some of the lunch and learns too. I did that last year. I went to a few lunch and learn events where they were just teaching real estate agents and small business professionals about finances, how to market, how to, you know, do cold call. Like I went to those events to speak to people and to learn from them because we're all in the business of sales pretty much. So learning what they did and comparing it to what I need to do, that helps me in my business too. So don't just try to find events where you're just going to go and sell yourself. Go to events where you're going to learn something too. All right? Because you can make those long lasting relationships with those people as well. All right? So this is going to be our challenge 2025. We're building relationships for referrals, baby. Because if you can sit down and eat and drink with a person, you don't think they're going to remember you next time they need somebody that does what you do? Think about it. All right, next. Leveling up your confidence in fees and services. For those of you who are not yet working, this is not really going to apply to you. You can't level up your confidence in fees and services if you are not even providing the service to begin with. So, first off, we need to get confident and get out there. All right? Build up your confidence. You're going to have to give yourself that motivation and get yourself out there. All right? Start talking about it. Anybody who knows you should know what you do. There should not be anyone who doesn't know what you do. All right? And how do you do this? You start locally. Facebook is too broad. Okay, you can't focus on Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff. You need to focus on local groups. Now, if you are going to be on Facebook, at least be in your neighborhood group, or if you're a part of some type of organization, be a part of their group. But you just trying to market in all of Facebook, you know how many people use Facebook around the world? That's too broad of an audience, okay? This is why people tell you to market on Google, market on Nextdoor, market on Yelp, market on Bing Places, Yellow Pages, because those are local. And you want people in your local area to know that you do notary. I've had people call me from out of town because they Googled me and I was nearby where their customer was going to be visiting, and they reach out to me. Never worked with the person a day in my life, but they called me, hey, my client is going to be visiting and they need to get some documents notarized and I need them back by end of day. I saw that you were going to be nearby. Can you help them? I sure can. And there you go. All right. So 2025, what we going to do? We're going to focus on our local area. Okay. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with you marketing on Facebook. Absolutely not. But I don't want that to be just it for you. I need for you to focus on your local area, and local word of mouth spreads outward. But you got to focus on this first. Focus on this, and that will help to spread out the news about you. Okay. Anybody have any questions? Because now I'm going to jump into one that really relates to me because I do so much. When you're doing all of this and you're planning to execute, right? You need to try your best to avoid burnout. Okay. Now, for me, my notary business is something I enjoy doing. So sometimes I find myself stuck in doing stuff for my notary business, so much so that I forget that I got a whole house of people who are waiting for me to be available so that they can be a part of my world too. All right. And sometimes I get burned out, and sometimes I don't even want to look at nothing notary. And that's not good. You got to create some type of balance. This is why when you see when I see notaries marketing themselves 24 hours, 7 days a week, you shouldn't do that. I know it does good for marketing, saying that you're available 24/7, but you need to have some boundaries. Okay? You don't want the general public to have 24/7 access to you. And then what time do you have left for yourself? What time do you have left for your family? Okay, none. You cannot do that to yourself. You shouldn't. You shouldn't want to. I don't want to be available 24/7. All right? I want to have a block out time in the week, multiple times, where I have time for myself and my family. All right. And it's not just me and the kids, it's my husband too. My husband wants some time too. Like, hey, you my wife, what's going on? So yes, block out time so that you make sure that you don't have burnout. All right. I have experienced that multiple times this year, and it is not a good feeling. And it's probably why I got sick. I was sick twice this year, as a matter of fact. Okay. Just doing too much. And I was joking, telling my friend last week. I was like, you know what? One day I'm going to take off the whole day and I'm going to sleep all day because I just feel like I never get enough rest. And what do you think happened this past week? I was so freaking sick, all I could do was sleep every day. And my clients would call me because I told everybody I was sick. They would call me and say, hey, we know you're sick, but we wanted to know if you would like to do a Ron sale, for us. Um, we'll just give you the one for today. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll get up. I got up. I'm sweating. I'm hot. I'm hot. No, I'm sweating, but I'm cold. I'm hot to the touch, but I'm cold. So like I had chills. I had my Gatorade and everything. I sat here at this computer. You can see it in my eyes. You can hear it in my voice. Even my notary friend, she was like, you sound so bad. But I was able to make money this week. I would get up and I would just do a little. I had to decline all of my in-person closings that was coming through. I couldn't take any of them, and I wanted to so bad, but I was like, I'm not gonna do that to myself. So that is no joke. If you do not take out time for yourself, your body is gonna make you do it. Okay. And the way I felt, I don't wish that on nobody. I felt terrible. Okay. Completely terrible. Now, must have tools and resources for next year, guys. We got to make sure that we have our loose certificates. I mean, I don't know how many times I've seen in these groups. Um, I got a document and the certificate on the document is not compliant for my state. What am I supposed to do? Do I just ask them to attach an acknowledgement, or you're supposed to have those certificates on you, okay? And you're supposed to have your notary handbook on you as well. Okay. Facebook is not a reliable resource when it comes to knowing what to do in your state as a notary. Okay. Please get your copy of your notary primer or primer. I heard somebody else say primer, and now I'm calling it a primer. Make sure you have an updated copy of your notary primer. Now, my notary primer is from 2020, so I do need to get a new one. Because they made some changes to remote online notary in Florida that started last year. I think it started last year. Yeah. And so I need to get a new one. Now I don't just use that. I have the state website, my statutes bookmarked on my computer. So I always reference that anyway. But if I'm out and about, that website is really small looking at my cell phone. So I would love to have a book. So my notary primer, because it's outdated, I'm going to get me a new one next year. All right. Your journal. Make sure that if you are using a paper journal, you want to make sure that you don't run out of pages. All right. For those of you who are doing really good this year, you don't want to run out of pages on in your notary journal. So if it's time to get a new one, get a new one before you run out of pages on that one, because you would hate to be called for a signing and you know that you only got one page left in your notary journal, and that's not enough for you to go and do the appointment. Now you got to wait to get a journal, where you can go and get a journal in person at Staples or Office Depot, but it's not the one that would be for multiple documents for assigning. That one will be more for a one document per customer type thing. And most of us are not doing one document per customer. Okay. So make sure you guys have that. If your stamp is stamping light, make sure you have some new ink. I mean, you guys, we got to make sure that we're going into 2025 prepared. Okay, we got to be ready because 2025 is supposed to be the next big thing since 2020. And if you're not ready, I don't know what to tell you. You guys got to get ready. Make sure you have a good bag, have all your tools. Make sure you have pens, please. Everybody should have black and blue ink pens. I don't know why notaries are showing up to appointments and they don't have no pens. What is wrong with y'all? Well, I mean, I'm not. No, that just don't be combative because combative notaries don't get work. Notaries who have an attitude problem where you feel like nobody can tell you nothing, you're the one who's not going to be getting work. Okay, so let's not adopt that mindset. Let's not have the attitude. Okay, you can have the attitude, but just don't take it out on your customers. All right, hold it back. You know, keep it to yourself because, like I said, people don't like to work with people who are hard to work with. They just don't. Okay, and people who are never prepared. We're not doing that in 2025. Get your stuff together. Be prepared. All right, make a great impression. Okay, because while you guys are talking about notaries out here making us look bad because they're taking the low fees, no, notaries are out here making us look bad because they out here doing stupid stuff. They're uneducated, they're moody, they got this attitude, I know my job, ain't nobody gonna tell me nothing. You don't know everything, I don't know everything, and I know a lot. Okay, don't get me wrong, I know a lot, but I don't even know everything. No one is above being told something. All right. And even if I already know it, I'm going to still listen. I'm still going to listen because at the end of the day, I need to make my bottom line. Now, I'm not saying to go out there and let nobody disrespect you because that's never happened to me before. That's not going to happen just because of how I carry myself and how I present myself to people whenever I meet them. But what I'm telling you is that you don't need to just go in there just being rude because being rude is not what we're doing in 2025. And y'all gonna hear me keep saying that we're not doing that in 2025. All right? We're gonna grow up, we're gonna be professional, we're gonna pull up our britches. Yes, I said britches, telling my age. And we're gonna make notaries look phenomenal in 2025. Because y'all have done people so bold. When I go to these networking events, as soon as I tell people I'm a notary, they got stories to tell. Bad stories. I'm like, oh, well, I'm sorry that you had that experience. Like, I'm genuinely sorry that you had that experience. My goodness, you know. And most people say they have bad experiences with notaries who just do this as a side gig. So, what we want to get out of saying is this is my side gig, this is my side hustle. Please don't do that. When you go and you're talking to people about your business, please avoid calling it a side gig or a side hustle because what that means to them is that you don't take this seriously. You just do this whenever you need a little extra money. So that means when you do got some extra money, that they're not going to be able to find you. That's how it used to happen back in the day when I would call to get my hair done. If the hairstylist already done made her money for the week, she ain't taking no more appointments. So now I gotta wait till next week when she ain't got no more money. That's not what we doing. What we not gonna do in 2025 is call our business that we made from the ground up and put our blood, sweat, and tears into a side hustle or a side gig. All right. What I tell people is when I was working a job full time, that my business was my part time job. It is not a side gig. It is not a hustle. It is not a hobby. This is my part-time job, which means that I need both of them. Okay, so whenever you call me and I have availability on my calendar, you will get helped. All right? Yeah, paranormal spiritual, because I know. I know. And this is not nothing I made up. This is something that was told to me when I went to a networking event. Y'all have to excuse me, my throat is still a little dry from being sick. But yes, this is what was told to me. So we're not gonna go into 2025 calling our businesses side gigs and side hustles. We're not gonna do that. Okay. Just air a precaution for that one. And yeah, you have a professional business that you are growing and you are trying to cater to other professionals to make their jobs more efficient and easier and more flexible for their customers. Okay. And then what you need to know about notary continuing education. The only continuing education that notaries should be focusing on in 2025 is those that are going to help grow your business. All right. So, like some of the courses that I have, customer service etiquette, how to start a business, those are continuing education courses that you should definitely want to take because what is that going to do? Make you better in your business. Customer service etiquette is so important and so lacking in people who own small businesses because they don't really care about how they treat the customer, but they want the customer to care about how they treat them, and that is not how you want to be going into 2025. All right. We want to make sure that we have phenomenal customer service. Okay. You want to make sure that your business is built up legally and correctly. You have so many people who are out here saying they're running a business and their business is not in order at all. They don't have an EIN, they don't have it registered with the state, registered with their city, registered with their county. Different states have different guidelines for how you have to register your business. But if your business isn't registered, you're not doing business. Even if you are doing business under your name, they have some type of paperwork that they want you to do to just say that you're getting money as a business officially. Okay. Getting an EIN number is free. Okay, well then you got to take my course. Starting a business is free and it's on my website. And it's just basically videos. So it's not anything that you got to like, take or anything like that. It's just videos showing you where to go, what to do, and what you should be focusing on as far as getting your business and affairs in order. Okay? Those are the type of courses that you guys, I just put it on the screen for you. Those are the type of courses that you guys need to be looking into. All right. Signing agent. If you guys are looking into want to facilitate real estate closings, you should be taking signing agent courses. Okay. This is going to give you the different steps to take so that you can maintain control of the appointment. Because I'll tell you, when your energy and demeanor is all a customer needs to know whether or not you are going to be in control of that appointment. When I walk in, I introduce myself, I walk with my head high, my back straight. They know that I'm there and I mean business. Okay, so when you walk in there, they're not going to try to pull it up, the appointment from you and start running things and then you there for 2 hours. No, you walk in there and you demand order of that appointment. You are in control so you can get in and out of there. You don't want to be there longer than you have to be. Okay. A typical closing should take you no more than 30 minutes, tops. All right. Doesn't matter how many pages it is. The longer you're there, the more questions they're going to ask, the more stuff that you're not going to be able to do. They're going to want to call people, then you got to wait for people to call back. No, no. So this is why taking the signing agent course is going to prepare you for those type of scenarios. All right, so continuing education, that's what you want to focus on. All right, what I said, customer service, starting a business the right way, signing agent. Um, you have the estate planning that Lisa Sweeney, she goes over it. I'm forget, I think it's called Notary Village. She goes through that estate planning. I have a couple of videos, but she really takes out the time to do it with you guys in real time. Go over estate planning documents. Those are the type of courses that you want to take. Now, these are the courses that they be having going on. To each his own. Just all I'm saying is if you're going to invest time and money into something, make sure it's something that you are going to use and make your money back. Okay? Something that's going to be beneficial to you and not just something that you can just brag about in the notary community because we don't really care. Not for real. All it does is just lets other people know to go and do the same thing and they fall in the same rabbit hole you done fell down. Okay. Apostles, that's another one. Yes, people do apostles frequently. In some areas they do it more than others. All right. I didn't do a whole lot of apostles this year, I don't think, but I do them and I do know how to do them and I do have a free course on how to do them. All right. It's not that hard of a job at all. When you look and see everything that needs to be done, you're going to be looking like, well, that just seems too easy. It is easy. Stop thinking everything is difficult just because people tell you it is in a Facebook group. It's not difficult. It's just all about you knowing the proper steps to take to get it done. That's it. What the heck? So yeah, guys, that's it. So let me see. Did I go through everything? I did. Yay! Woo! I got through my talking topics. That doesn't happen that often because I just ramble and talk and talk and talk. Because I like talking to you guys. All right. But that's what we're not going to do in 2025. We're going to be successful in 2025. We're going to evaluate our businesses. Or if you don't have your business already started, you're going to go and take my course on on starting a business so you can get your stuff in order, plan it, execute it in 2025. We are going to be successful, right? We're calling that into existence tonight. All right. So, guys, do you have any questions about anything I talk about? Because I don't think my throat gonna be able to handle any more of this talking. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to get rid of this cup too because it is trash. All right, guys. Well, then I am going to go ahead and let you go. You are very welcome. Thank you so much for joining me tonight on my live. I got a good turnout, so I'm happy about that. You are welcome, Michael. Anytime, anytime. All right, so guys, I will catch you guys next Sunday. Have a wonderful week ahead. I know I plan to, especially since I feel better. And I will talk to you guys another time. All right, good night.